Noah went with Bloodcraft, right? Because he knows that he's already instilled in everybody that, oh, I'm the Swordcraft guy. I'm going to play Swordcraft. And then he comes up with Aggro Blood. And it's
right,
like,
and
completely for a mid-range game.
Come on.
Very interesting.
Play together.
They both want to play with each other.
It's going to end with someone dying. One of the Lunas are going to die. One of the clones are going to die.
One of us will leave this place, and the other will be dead.
Wow, that was really intense. I don't know how I feel about that.
I feel like there's...
Were you talking to me?
No.
Oh, no. Okay, good. Great,
At
great.
the end of this cast, we will both be walking out of here alive.
Are you sure?
What have I ever done to give you any ounce of have any ounce of disbelief for this thing?
Oh, it's not you. I mean, but like anything can happen. You know, like the universe is chaotic and everybody knows it.
Is it table
Knock
wood?
on wood.
There's wood here.
There's wood on the side of the table. The
Yeah.
top is
I got you covered. I
plastic or
knocked
something.
for
Thanks.
you. Yep, no problem.
Appreciate it, bro.
Thanks, dude.
What? Why were we talking about? What was that?
I have no idea because the Lunas were telling each other like.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's how we got there. I'm not sorry.
One day, meeting the voice actors would be a cool thing. That would be fun.
Do what?
Meeting the voice actors.
Oh, that would be pretty sweet. There's a lot. I wonder how many of the voice actors in these cards have like done more than one card. That'd be interesting to know. If
It's
someone
actually
has
all
done
just
like,
one person.
It's all just one
It's
person.
all just one person.
Just one kind
Both
of
for the female and the male cards.
one kind of overweight fellow. That'd be so great. I would love that.
That would be an experience. Lots of pressure here on the side of Shugo. Could opt to just zombie party and be rid of that. And I think in previous times, he definitely would to stop that Prince Catacomb from cutting down.
Yep.
We'll give him free 3 damage.
Yeah, and it's
you
that
don't really have a great 3-drop to play anyways.
Yeah, you might as well. And it's that chip damage that absolutely defines the shadow-on-shadow matchup of just... It's death by 1,000 cuts, not going on in a blaze of glory like a dragon-on-dragon matchup.
Blaze of glory.
Oh my gosh, and there's another zombie party waiting for this. Or an Orthrus. He's got the
Could swing the
options.
Skull Beast and then Orthrus to guarantee that the buff goes on the Lyrial. It's definitely a thing that could happen. You can still maintain the 1-2 on the board because the Orthrus will replace the Skull Beast.
Right.
That seems like a comfortable choice, but
He also could just zombie party, get rid of that right off
then
the
that
bat.
puts his curve kind of weird. He's floating 2 points that he can't really play.
Yeah. I see what you mean. And he'd get more damage with
All right,
the
Shugo.
with the Orthrus.
Do you
as well.
want the nice, clean, feel-good play, or do you feel like there's a better option? He's going for it.
He's going for the Orthrus.
He's going for it. Orthrus?
Is it gonna hit? Is it gonna hit? Oh!
Oh my God! You are lame.
I'm the worst.
Lame.
100% chance it's gonna hit.
Get me off this desk, please.
Oh, you can't go anywhere. You're stuck.
Yep, I'm actually tied down to the floor. We are disallowed to remove ourselves from this premises.
Got dark, man.
Yeah. Please help.
We're totally kidding, by the way.
I'm winking twice at the camera.
Blink twice. Yeah, and this 4-2 Lyrial puts FivePawns in an awkward spot because whatever he evolves, if he trades in, it's gonna die. He's got 2 Lyrials himself and a Skull Beast as well. He could just zombie party it, evolve and trade into the Orthrus. I mean, that's probably the best play.
Already at 12 health, you really need to start thinking about some kind of board control. Especially because this situation ain't going to get better. There's a guy on a horse just waiting. His horse is,
Stomping its heels.
stomping its heels, getting ready to roll.
I'm not going to make a horse noise because that sounds weird on
Nay,
microphone.
hey.
Nay, nay, nay.
My boss is killing me. Lyrial Archer is so good. That's a card that is just good. It's a good card.
It's a great card. Yep.
Can take it to the party. Lyrial doesn't like parties, especially zombie ones. That gives you the opportunity to play a Grimna.
Yep. Could zombie party Grimnir as well.
But I feel like Shugo is Run a little dry on cards.
Yeah, he is. He doesn't have any draw options.
Which we have seen time and time again in Shadowcraft matchups where they kind of just barely don't draw into the options that can close out the game. They do really well.
And in the early turns, you try to go fast. You play 2 cards on 1 turn, and without a soul conversion, your hand's just bleeding out. Your hand's just gonna go away after a while if you keep doing that. So really aggressive plays lead to empty hands if you don't have the card draw necessary.
All right.
I am the Mad Cyclone.
That's good to know, Mr. Grimner.
I was wondering, who's the Mad Cyclone?
It's a me.
It's a me, the Mad Cyclone.
He's gonna drop 2 play points there and lose an Evolve Orb. And yeah. I wish he knew what he was kind of, if he was playing around something to shoot him to take that path, if he just wanted to save Zombie Party because he knew that he needed some kind of late game option, where Zombie Party would be able to spawn the 3 zombies that he could use to gain shadows.
Late game option, and he's got Ector in his hand as well, so really great synergy there.
Late game for a Shadow matchup is not necessarily 10 play points, right? Whereas Grimner would be very valuable in that time. Oh, he's got the Spooky Spooks.
Yeah, we've seen the Tenacious Ghost come in absolutely clutch in week 9. Oh my god.
Was that Shugo?
That was
Shugo.
That was Shugo, man.
Yeah, Shugo carries on the legacy of the Tenacious Ghost. Tenacious indeed.
Yeah, he hasn't changed his decks at all. He's like, no, I know these work. I'm taking them all the way.
All the way.
I am the Mad Cyclone.
He spends the second Grimner. Oh boy. Oh boy, he's cooking up something delicious. He's gonna give away the ambush here. Try to hide behind the ward. There's still an Evolve Orb available here. If you throw in the Bone Chimera, you can have 3 wards and 2 skeletons. A partridge and a pear tree.
I don't see that card. Where is that in his hand? Partridge and a pear. What does it do? What is its effect?
It makes you jolly in a time of giving.
It makes you jolly.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're making that up. I don't think that card exists.
It doesn't exist. I'm sorry.
You apologize. That's the best part.
Ector is going to be pretty good, I think.
Yeah, you've got 6 shadows for the 2 zombies.
And you have 2 cards that can take advantage of the damage bonus. And FivePawns is going to spend the Evolve to try to remove Grimner here. He does so. It's still kind of not really the best situation, especially because you don't have Evolve Orbs on your own end. So Ector himself can't swing. And I almost wonder if you want to even commit that resource right now. Maybe you just want a zombie party, kind of deal with it.
But if you zombie party, then then FivePawns has his own Ector, right? You get to check out one of the zombies, and you get your own zombies, but then
you zombie party and you kill the second zombie, so that means he has 2, 1, 3 on the board, which means that he's gonna get 12 damage. That doesn't sound too appealing. Maybe you do have to spend Ector.
This head can't be taken.
All right. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. So he still can get 8 damage here and remove the Ector. No, he won't be able to remove the Ector because he only gets 1 zombie here.
Well, but I guess the evolved skeleton could trade into the Ector for 6. No,
yeah.
Excuse me, 5.
This head can't be
So we'll have to trade something else in there.
He'll just trade a spawn zombie and the evolved skeleton if he really wanted to. Or just a skeleton and 5 damage here.
again.
So the health is evening up, and in kind of as per what we were saying before, you're kind of running out of options here, you know. And depending on what FivePawns has in hand, it could be over if you leave a card like the Ector available, you know. You also don't have a good way of removing it, so I think Shugo is kind of you kind of just have to deal with it.
Yeah, you kind
of. He's gonna take face damage here. I think your best method is to remove Skeleton, that's going to be your best method to mitigate any kind of damage. Let's see.
Ooh. Shadow Reaper, that's really good, actually.
He could play basically every single card in his hand to help this Shadow Reaper grow to something monstrous.
Yep, he could. He absolutely could, but I mean, that's every card in his hand. He's gonna do it. Oh my gosh, he's doing it.
He's doing it.
He's going
I
all
think
the
this
way.
is smart.
Goodness.
Because now whatever happens, either
Goodness
you swing
gracious.
with your whole board, or that Shadow Reaper is going to be coming at you with 5 damage.
Right at this time, Shugo's wishing he had a Foul Tempest in his deck. Unfortunately, he doesn't. So those cards are going to be a thorn in his side for the rest of the game. He does have a Death's Breath of his own, but again,
How nice would Grimnir have been right about now? You have to wait one play point, but
one more turn, yeah.
look at those health values.
Yeah, oh, that's so good. The ultimate Grimnir play.
Shugo has already vomited 2 of his Grimnirs, though, in this game, as we noted earlier.
No, that's true, yep. Yeah, there's a lot of Grimnirs have been spent this game.
Look at all these zombies. Getting ward. Getting the +1 health.
It's a lot of zombies with ward. His whole board.
If you take 2
The
of
zombies.
your zombies and kill the Ector, you... Okay. What is the top deck?
Yeah.
Not necessarily helpful.
Not great. I think Shugo might be able to win this next turn. I mean, how many zombies is he going to be able to get rid of?
He's going to be able to get rid of 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And then if he plays Phantom Mallet, he can get rid of 1 more.
Okay. Okay, that's pretty good.
Shadow Reaper's going to get buff.
So angry.
Yep. Really buff.
Can't quite reach this last one unless he spends the Shadow Reaper, which is...
You could Phantom Howl and then Orthrus into it. I mean, that would buff up the Shadow Reaper even more. It would force Shugo to trade in 2 of his zombies to get rid of it with if it was at 4 health.
The scary part here is if you let 2 zombies live here, and a Cerberus comes walking along, you're
Yeah.
you're dead.
Yeah, you Shugo, I mean, FivePawns is thinking that. I mean, that's got to be in his hand. In his head. Because Shugo could have it in his hand. Ha, ha,
Oh
ha.
my god. He can't actually remove this last one. Well, he needs to spend his Phantom Hell if he wants to.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to.
Okay, he does.
I'm coming for you.
Bit of a shame, too, considering that Shadow Reaper's left at 2 defense. So was the Hector as well. Yeah, very smart decision getting rid of that extra zombie. Did not want something like a Cerberus to come close out the game. But there's another
my.
Hector.
Oh my.
Can't be taken.
And this puts Shugo
Clear
in
the
a
board.
really good spot.
Yep. Yeah, that
Finally,
draw
that
was
Hector
huge.
came through.
You've got a ward of your own. Oh, that's huge. Oh my gosh. I don't know
Oh,
if FivePawns is going to be able to deal
there's
with
not
that.
a lot of options, and that the
The
Prince
single
coming
Prince
up,
Catacomb.
showing up late to the party, says, "Hey guys, where's everybody at? Nobody's there anymore. You've already lost. I'm sorry. Go home." Shugo coming in first, had the momentum. I think he played out a lot of the cards in his hand and kind of lost a lot of gas towards the mid game, but then kind of very smartly had that zombie party into the Death's Breath. That was huge. Having all 5 of the zombies be able to be 2/3 wards was just so much tempo in his favor.
Yeah,
And,
that was a lot for FivePawns to deal
yeah.
with. Yeah.
And then the nail in the coffin was that boy, Hector.
Or the horse, depending on who
The
you think
horse.
is really doing all the work.
Yeah. So Shugo is up
You must die.
1-0, and here comes the second Swordcraft deck up the bat. Will it be up to snuff? That's going to be a different question.
A question indeed. Because we've seen Shugo's sword deck perform. I mean, this is essentially the same deck. There's a Mentor's Teaching.
Mentor's teaching. Give him a beating. After this, FivePawns is going to need a little bit of a treating.
Do you rap, Rainy? Are you a rapper?
I am not a rapper.
You don't write raps?
I
You
am
should. You should.
terrible.
You're pretty good.
I'm terrible. There is no meaning behind the words that I say.
Well, you can...
Finding rhymes is like looking for a needle in a stack of hay.
Hmm.
But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to watch them play some Shadowverse on this very
yeah,
special
I'm trying
day.
to talk about the game and stay focused, whatever.
All right, here it comes, the face damage. Sorry, Luna, your face is about to get pushed in because Swordcraft ain't waiting for nobody.
And Shugo, he's still got the option for the Mentor's teaching this turn for just that little bit of extra damage, that one extra damage, and the card draw.
And the draw. You could Mentor's Teaching and Maid Leader. Set yourself up for a brighter future.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, you still get to have 4 cards in your hand, which is great. You spin 2 cards.
You do need a brighter future against Shadow once it looms over you.
Absolutely. And it's going to be the Mentor's Teaching. I thought maybe he might wanted to have played Grimnir just for the ward, but he does clear the board. He does get rid of the Soul Squasher.
Oh my god, my eyes are blurring.
Oh, there's so many archers.
There's even one more in hand. So actually, Lyral is very interesting against cards like this. You know, Attendant of the Night. If you evolve, you ping the Attendant, it summons a Lich, then you trade the Lich. You know. Actually, a very satisfying exchange of business.
It is. But FivePawns, he's got an Erd in his hand for next turn, so he'll be able to ping for 1 damage, depending on if Shugo plays a ward this turn, ping for 1 damage with the Attendant of Night. Destroy the Attendant of Night, summons itself again, and you get the Lich too, so you get 2 Attendant of Nights.
Maid Leader comes down. Wow, he ends a trade. And that's interesting, like in the same fashion of kind of strategies against Ayala, trading into Attendant of Night on your turn can turn out to be very awkward, just because then they immediately get to swing with a 4/4 Lich.
Right. So interesting twist from Shugo. I think knowing that you've got the ward, that's kind of what he was thinking. He was hoping it would at least mitigate 1 attack, but I mean, the Lyrial Archer is going to be able to ping the other Lyrial Archer, trade in and go for 4 face damage as well.
Lots of heavy removal here. Left with 2 4 damage followers on board, 1 with 2 health, 1 with 3. This is a tough situation for Swordcraft to handle.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be able to completely clear the board. A Luminous Mage, I think is a really solid play right here. You have to at least clear one of those things off.
Probably going to go for the 4/3 Lich. I mean, that certainly is the better idea, to go for the 4/3 Lich.
Yeah, it hasn't been evolved. Lyrial has, so very, very value. Much value. Wow. Right there.
You're done for.
You're such a...
Oh,
God.
I'm such a what? I'm curious.
You're such a nice little boy. All right.
Aw.
Turn 5. Cerberus is an option. 2 cards with 1 health left on the board, and that's quite frustrating, really. But Cerberus at 4 damage to face is not the worst in the world. Do you opt to spend that second evolution orb to get rid of the Luminous Mage? You kind of really want to, because Luminous Mage gives you so much value. It's a free evolve on the Albert next turn if he opts to play that.
He could evolve the Cerberus, trade into the Knight, and then Lyrial trade into the Mage. That way the Cerberus will be left with 5/3, I guess a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
Than just having... Oh, and then I guess you... Going for face is nice, but I think when you're already at 14 health...
You do want to clear the board, because there's some big damage that can happen when Albert comes down. There it is, left with the 5/3 Cerberus. Lots of Storm on the board. Maybe the evolved Albert is a move here. It's kind of scary because you got Death's Breath sitting in the sidelines.
Yep. Getting rid of the Cerberus will put FivePawns exactly at 6 shadows. And there's not really a way that Shugo has to deal with that in his hand. That could be absolutely huge. Yeah, and the Novice Troopers with 2 attack, not really able to trade into the Cerberus effectively. I think he's going to have to at least summon the Albert, spend the Evolve Orb, and then the choice becomes, do you go for face or do you clear out the Cerberus?
Shugo's thinking long and hard about it, and I think it deserves that level of thought here.
Question. And I know the answer to it, but I'm just curious. If you Erd a Cerberus, you do not get the Coco and Mimi.
No.
It's a fanfare ability.
Yep.
It won't be long now.
He's opting to do 6 damage here. Now, what's interesting is that if you're going to opt to try to get Death's Breath, you need to trade in your Cerberus, right? Because otherwise you won't get that extra shadow. And being at 6 play points, the instant you play anything else, you don't have enough to play the Death's Breath.
Right, and you've got Coco and Mimi in your hand already and an Ector. You really want to be setting up for those massive damage plays in the later turns. But when the Swordcraft player is doing like Shugo just did and going face, it makes you real sweaty. But the Death's Breath allows you to do that.
And I think this is important. It's important to get Ward up against Storm. And that's really going to hamper Shugo's aggressive pressure here because you're top decking.
Yep.
And next turn you have Ector, which is going to buff at least one of the zombies. Not 2. It's going to do 2. This is perfect. Really put Swordcraft in an awkward position where it's having to remove more followers than it can really handle.
But Shugo is still sitting real pretty at 20 health. And FivePawns is at 8. I mean, 1 enhanced Albert and it's over.
He's going to get a good board clear here. He's going to be able to take down the Luminous Mage. Have a few, have a 4 damage zombie swing at face.
Yep, and he still keeps the one with Ward, too, which is huge. Because we're getting to that Albert play. This is exactly what Shugo is saving up for. Yeah, it's gotta be the Ector. No, this is Cerberus.
Evolve and trade. I wouldn't really keep the Luminous Mage up.
Yeah, I don't want to keep that up. Do not want to give a free evolve to an Ector, for instance. No, excuse me, an Albert. What am I talking about?
Looks like that's going to be the play here. Now this zombie permanently at 4-3 will be able to get even bigger when Ector comes down. And the ward makes it tough to remove the Cerberus in the back.
There's the Geno. But still,
once you play the Geno, you're going to take 7 from Cerberus. But if he doesn't have ward down, then you have... I mean, I think that's fine, right? Because if he doesn't ward down, then Albert comes out with the Enhance and Evolve, does 10 damage, and ends the game.
Yeah, even with Ector and then Coco, that's still 9 damage.
The play here that Shugo needs to respect is a possibility of Death's Breath. If he removes a zombie, that gives him exactly the amount of play points, and then that really ruins your kind of game plan, because then Death's Breath comes down, Cerberus hits you for 5, and you're in an even worse spot. Obviously, we know by looking at kind of FivePawns' hand, it's kind of a tough spot, right?
Right. So Shugo's probably preparing for that, but, I mean, as far as the most optimal play is concerned, I mean, if FivePawns does have Death's Breath, then it's kind of over, right?
Yeah.
But if you hope for the best, maybe FivePawns doesn't have Death's Breath,
which
he doesn't.
To use the power of belief right now. Believe, Shugo.
Cross your fingers.
Here it comes. The moment of truth here. It lies on FivePawns' card on the top of his collection of cards that he's brought to this particular tournament. Oh!
Oh my gosh. I think that is...
I think it's done and done.
Yeah, it's done and done.
Let's see it play out, though. FivePawns with the Evolve Cerberus on the table. Coco and Mimi in hand. No matter what he removes from the board, it's not going to matter.
No amount of board clear or face damage is going to win the game for FivePawns.
Take
next
a chunky amount of damage here, do 9. That's actually huge, but 9 is exactly the amount of play points Shugo has, and when you have 9 play points on Albert, he goes Mega Mode, We evolve Mega Mode Albert, and he's
Mega
swinging
Mode.
twice for 5 damage per. 5 plus 5 is what, Sterling?
10.
How much health did FivePawns have?
He had 8.
That
8 is less
means
than 10.
Shugo takes it out with a win off an enhanced Albert, and I actually feel like I haven't seen that in a long time. Swordcraft decks for a long time I feel like haven't been able to play that enhanced Albert, especially with an Evolve Orb as Tempest of the Gods kind of kicked into high gear, and Shugo takes it. Every single one of our matches, we can take a look at our bracket here, but I feel like every single one of the higher seeded players won their match. And I think that really